Shalom, Israel, and welcome back to Each One Reach One. I appreciate you guys joining me for another video. Let's begin properly by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. All praise is due. Grace, peace, and blessings to you out there of the elect of Israel. I love you guys, man. I appreciate you guys sitting down with me for a moment. Today's video, man, you know, the Most High has put it on my spirit, man, to talk to our Akwaf, man, and talk to, you know, my family in general, man, because it's a lot of us, I say, it's a lot of you out there that are not discerning what's going on around you at the moment. So we have to speak on it. The Most High wanted us to be diligent. He wanted us to pay attention in these times. He wanted us to be discerners of the time, watch the seasons, right? He wanted us to stay upon our watchtower and understand where we are in Bible prophecy by watching what's going on around us. He wants us to see his will unfolding, his plan being manifest, right? This was his job, the assignment that he gave to his chosen. There we go. And so if you've been doing that, then you've been watching, you've been seeing all of the different happenings around the world, man, with weather and, you know, disasters and wars and rumors of wars and pestilences and plagues and so forth. We've seen all these things happening, right? We've been watching. Have you been watching to the shift in what's happening between Israelite men and Israelite women? Have you noticed the shift change? What's going on? See, the Most High promised that he would bring down all of the enemies of his people, right? And so when we think about that, we think about all of these other nations, everything they've done to us, them being the head, us being the tail. What's rarely considered and spoken on are the enemies within our own nation. 2/3 of our own people are also our enemies. They're our enemies for the gospel's sake, right? And also, you know, within that, to be more specific, the men versus the women, this gender war that we have within our community. This was ordained by the Father. This is prophecy. This was one of the curses that we had to bear. We had to go through this. See, more so than the women, the men had a more sore judgment that we had to deal with, because the Most High first deals with his men, primarily deals with his men. Okay? Don't be offended, ladies, you know, be edified. The Most High really loves his men. All right? And when we went astray from him, he caused our women to go astray from us. He caused us to have to come under the rule of the women of our nation, to be at odds with the women of our nation. All right, that's what's going on. So in this video, I wanted to touch on what's going on around us. It's the correction, because it's correction season, right? And I don't know if you guys follow YouTuber Kevin Samuels. The only way you haven't heard of him is if you've been living under a rock. He's really popular right now. And what he's doing the Most High's work. He's obviously anointed by the Most High, right? He's doing the job the Most High sent him out to do, because the Most High told us what he would do in the latter days. And you know that he works through people. He works through men, right? So if you watch that, brother, then you understand that what he's doing is absolutely ordained of the Most High, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. He don't call on him. You know, he called himself a Christian, or he says that he was a Christian at some point in his life. So he knows a little bit about the Bible. He touches on it here and there, but he doesn't, you know, acknowledge publicly, at least, him being an Israelite, us being the people of the book, right? But I'm pretty sure he has an idea. Watch him. Listen. He's bringing down the Israelite women, the haughty attitude and the arrogance of our women. He's correcting them. He's showing them their errors as we have to do, right? With our people. He shows his people his errors, their errors, and he corrects us. All right. He's correcting our women in measure right now. And Kevin Samuels is an instrument of that correction right now. Pay attention. If you're one of these simps out there caping for all of these disorderly women, you better stop it. The Most High has no respect for you, no love for you. It's the return of the strength and power of the Israelite man, the humbling of the Israelite woman. The Most High has no respect for simps. Have you noticed? Look and pay attention on YouTube. Look at the rise of the manosphere, right? Red pill ideology, MGTOW ideology, right? The black manosphere in particular. It is an all-out assault and war on simp culture, on whore culture, on women being in power, men being weak and underneath the woman. This is the Most High's decree that he would fix it because this was his punishment. Now our punishment is over. Our captivity is over. The curses are being lifted from us and they're being put onto the other nations. Part of our curses was these women, so now he got to get them right. All right, let's get some scripture to back all this up. Let's start off in Isaiah chapter 58, verse 1. What does the Most High say? Cry aloud, spare not. Lift up your voice like a trumpet. Tell my people their transgression, and the house of Jacob their sins. We are the house of Jacob, right? He always notifies us via his prophets of our transgressions. He lets us know what our sins are, and he corrects us. This is the season of correction. It is time for the women to get in order, to be moved back to their proper places beneath the men. All right, ladies, you better know that's what's going on. You've seen the Book of Eli, the movie. Well, times like that and far worse are coming. If you don't know, you better get in these scriptures and understand prophecy. You better understand prophecy. All rebellious women will be dealt with. You got a judgment coming. You're going to be out here alone. All of that, I don't need no man, ends ain't shit. Oh boy. His men are his beloved. The 2/3, he don't give a damn about them, but the elect, 1/3 of his men that are of the elect, you better do right by them, by us. He cares, and he really cares about his disorderly daughters. You will get in line. You will. By force or by choice. All right? So let's get some history for those of you who don't know. Right? Because a lot of you women are in Christianity, but you still don't believe in the Bible. You still don't believe in the Most High's order. You've been listening to these pastors sell you a bunch of lies, pulpit pimping. It's easy to pimp a woman. It's easy to trick a woman. It's easy. All you got to do is sell a woman a fantasy. All you got to do is cater to her ego. The easiest way to destroy our women is cater to their egos. Nothing new under the sun. The devil's been doing it to our women since the beginning of time, since Eve in the garden. Eve was the one in the transgression. Eve was the one who was beguiled. And the devil has been doing it ever since, doing the same thing to our women. Come boost her ego, cater to her ego, and she'll destroy herself and the entire nation. All right, let's get the history. All right, we go run through Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15 through 68, because a lot of people don't understand the curses that we're under and how what we're going through right now and have been going through all of this time, we're all about these curses. So let's get this background. Deuteronomy 28:15. But it shall come to pass, if you do not obey the voice of Yahweh your power, to observe carefully all his commandments and his statutes, which I command you today, that all these curses will come upon you and overtake you. Cursed shall ye be in the city, and cursed shall ye be in the country. Cursed shall be your basket and your kneading bowl. Cursed shall be the fruit of your body, your children, and the produce of your land, and the increase of your cattle, and the offspring of your flocks. Cursed shall you be when you come in. Cursed shall you be when you go out. The Lord will send on you cursing, confusion, and rebuke in all that you set your hand to do. That's why it seems like we just can't win no matter what we do. Until you are destroyed and until you perish quickly because of the wickedness of your doings in which you have forsaken me. Yahweh will make the plague cling to you until he has consumed you from the land which you are going to possess. Yahweh will strike you with consumption, with fear, with inflammation, with severe burning fever, with the sword, with scorching, and with mildew. They shall pursue you until you perish. And your heavens, which are over your head, shall be bronze, and the earth which is under you shall be iron. That's jail. It's the prison. He prophesied that it would be many of us filling up prisons, filling up the jails. Verse 22 was telling you about all of these plagues and everything that he was going to do to strike us, to dwindle us, to deplete our numbers and our strength so that it would be easy for our enemies to take us down. See, our women don't understand exactly what he did, what the Most High did to take us down. They think the men were just a bunch of weaklings and we didn't do anything to protect them, and I can't respect you because of slavery. They say stupid shit like this. They have no understanding within them. That's the reason why they will be put back beneath men. The Lord will change the rain of your land to powder and dust. From the heaven it shall come down on you until you are destroyed. The Lord will cause you to be defeated before your enemies. You shall go out one way against them and flee 7 ways before them, and you shall become troublesome to all the kingdoms of the earth. This is what happened to us. The Most High took us down. They couldn't take us down on their own. We were a mighty people. He brought this on us. It was his judgment, his ruling, his will being done. We fell because we went astray of him. He brought us down. He made us weak. He made it to where we couldn't fight back. We couldn't resist them, that they would overpower us. He did this, not them. Verse 26, your carcasses shall be food for all the birds of the air and the beasts of the earth, and no one shall frighten them away. The Lord, Yahweh, will strike you with the boils of Egypt, bondage, bondage, not the land, the condition of bondage, with tumors, with the scab, and with the itch from which you cannot be healed. You know, this is dual-fold because I said not the land, but it does mean the land, but it also means the condition. It's twofold. The Most High, he speaks and he deals in double and triple entendres. Verse 28, Yahweh will strike you with madness and blindness and confusion of heart, and you shall grope at noonday as a blind man gropes in darkness. You shall not prosper in your ways. You shall only be oppressed and plundered continually, and no one shall save you. This is the reason why nothing that we try to do, he would never allow us to have any saviors. He would never allow us to have any leadership. He would never allow any Martin Luther Kings, no MLKs, no Black Panther parties, nothing we tried to do to come together to try to lift ourselves up, to try to save ourselves. None of it worked because it was his judgment against us that no one would be able to save us. He didn't want us to be saved. He didn't want us to be able to save ourselves because we belong to him. He wanted us to go through our punishment, recognize that he is the only thing that can save us, turn back to him, and that in the end, he will save us. He wants his glory. So he took all of our strength, all of the might away from us and allowed us to do nothing to save ourselves, nothing to improve our condition. Moving on. You shall betroth a wife, but another man shall lie with her. Slavery, did that not happen? You shall build a house, but you shall not dwell in it. This is slavery. This was his forecasting of slavery, of what we would go through in our captivity. Our women would be raped. We would build houses for other people. You shall plant a vineyard, but shall not gather as grapes. We did all this planting and so forth, but weren't able to enjoy the fruit of the vine, weren't able to enjoy the fruit of our labor. Your ox shall be slaughtered before your eyes, but you shall not eat of it. Your donkey shall be violently taken away from before you and shall not be restored to you. Your sheep shall be given to your enemies, and you shall have no one to rescue them. Your sons and your daughters shall be given to another people, and your eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long, and there shall be no strength in your hand. See, a lot of our people don't even understand that this is what happened. When the Most High kept talking about the children went into captivity. When those people took our people slaves, they were taking children. They were filling up those ships with children. They weren't overpowering a bunch of men and so forth. They captured the children, right? Snatched children from mothers, was at war with the men, and found opportunities to enslave and take the children captive, put the children on slave ships, brought the children out of our land, shipped them into Africa, shipped them into Northern and Southern America. Children. A nation whom ye have not known shall eat the fruit of your land and the produce of your labor, and you shall be only oppressed and crushed continually. So you shall be driven mad because of the sight which your eyes see. See, that's what they did, though. They really messed us up, man. They gave us all of that slave propaganda, all of those movies. This is the reason why they did it. They wanted you to believe. They wanted you to have the visuals of a bunch of adults, a bunch of grown men, big, strong men, just being cowards and, being overpowered and, by one guy with a gun, maybe two guys with a gun, and there's hundreds of us on the ship. And, nobody tried to lift a finger. Nobody tried to revolt. Nobody tried to overpower them and do anything. See, this is what they want to lead you to believe. But also our people back then, they knew better than we do now who we are as a people. So they knew that what they were going through was the Lord's judgment. They knew that trying to fight against what was happening to them was like fighting against him. See, but you think that they were stupid. You think they were just soft and given the Bible and defeated spiritually by giving this false, God and so forth. But you don't understand that they understood that they were the people of the book. They understood that it was their book that was bastardized by the enemy. That's what they knew. You didn't know this now, but they knew it then. And you think they were stupid because of what they knew that you don't know. 36, the Lord will bring you and the king whom you set over you to a nation which neither you nor your fathers have known. And there you shall serve other gods, wood and stone. And you shall become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword, nigger, black, African American, among all nations where the Lord will drive you, right? It's a prophecy of us being scattered throughout the world, slavery. This was the forecast. You shall carry much seed out of the field, but gather little in, for the locusts shall consume it. Not literal locusts. He's referring to our enemies, these people, as the locusts. You shall plant vineyards and tend them, but you shall neither drink of the wine nor gather the grapes, for the worms shall eat them. Not literal worms, referring to these people as worms. You shall have olive trees throughout all your territory, but you shall not anoint yourself with the oil, for your olives shall drop off. You shall beget sons and daughters, but they shall not be yours, for they shall go into captivity. Listen, you shall beget sons and daughters, but they shall not be yours, for they shall go into captivity. The children were taken into captivity. This is what people miss. It was the children that was taken into captivity. The children. That's who they took. Locusts shall consume all your trees and the produce of your land. The alien who is among you shall rise higher and higher above you, and ye shall come down lower and lower. All these people that come in, these other nations that come into our neighborhoods and feed off us, get rich off us, take our money, send it back to where they come from, send their children to college and make good lives for themselves off of our poverty, off of our stupidity, of our need to go to our enemies for want of all things. He shall lend to you, but ye shall not lend to him. We're always the ones that need to be lent to. We're never the ones doing the lending. He shall be the head and you shall be the tail. We have been converted from the head to the tail, from the most mighty people, the most mighty men, to those at the absolute bottom. And he put those who were at the absolute bottom and brought them to the top. Trading Places. Remember the movie Trading Places with Eddie Murphy? Yep, that was a real tale that they were telling you without you even understanding what that movie was about. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon you and pursue and overtake you until you are destroyed, because you did not obey the voice of Yahweh your power to keep his commandments and his statutes, which he commanded you. And they shall be upon you for a sign and a wonder, and on your descendants forever, because you did not serve Yahweh your power with joy and gladness of heart for the abundance of everything. Therefore, you shall serve your enemies, whom Yahweh will send against you, in hunger, in thirst, in nakedness, and in need of everything. Is that not what he's put us through? He made good on his word. And he will put a yoke of iron on your neck until he has destroyed you. In slavery, did our people not get a literal yoke of iron put around their necks to subdue them, to destroy them? Yahweh will bring a nation against you from afar, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flies, a nation whose language you will not understand, a nation of fierce countenance, which does not respect the elderly, nor show favor to the young. Is that not these people? Think about what you know about slavery and everything we've been through with these people that we're still, under, being persecuted by. Is that not their character? Do they show respect to our elderly? Do they show favor to our young? No, they do not. And they shall eat the increase of your livestock and the produce of your land. They still get paid off of us right now. They live off our slavery. A job, that's slavery by another name. Only you didn't understand it. A job is oppression until you are destroyed. They shall not leave you grain or new wine or oil or the increase of your cattle or the offspring of your flocks until they have destroyed you. They shall besiege you at all your gates everywhere you live until your high and fortified walls in which thou trust come down through all your land. And they shall besiege you at all your gates throughout all your land, which Yahweh, your power, has given you. You shall eat the fruit of your own body, the flesh of your sons and your daughters, whom Yahweh, your power, has given you, in the siege and desperate straits in which your enemy shall distress you. The sensitive and very refined man among you, it just occurred to me that I'm in the in KJV, but since I'm already started, I'll go ahead and finish it and switch when I'm done. So that my bad, I lost my place for a second. Let's get back on track. The sensitive and very refined man among you will be hostile toward his brother, toward the wife of his bosom, and toward the rest of his children, whom he leaves behind. Is that not what happened in our communities? Is that what not happened? We lost brotherly love, right? The men, lost the love towards the women, because the women, became something that the men didn't want anymore, something that the men couldn't stand or tolerate or bear. So men opted to leave rather than be put under subjection of the woman, which was, again, a curse of the Most High. But men opted to leave because when our enemies took us captive, the enemies lifted up the woman above us, right? And the women loved the power because they never had that power over us before, right? Our women are the second biggest beneficiary of white supremacy, the Israelite woman, the Black woman. The biggest beneficiary of white supremacy, the white man. The second, the Black woman. The Black woman. She had been given what she never had at any other time in history, power over the man. And they loved it. Once you give someone power, they'll fight tooth and nail to keep it. And so they sided with white supremacy. They were the ones, the overlords in slavery. They were the ones the enemy lifted up and gave the power, gave the guns to, and made them the tattletales, the snitches, the house niggers, the overseers and so forth. Because remember, because they mostly children. They took actually grown women, a lot of grown women, and they made them the overseers of the children, the young boys, and made them to rule over the men, rule over the boys, and so forth. And so thenceforth commenced the birth of the matriarchy within our people. That was never before so in our community. All right. So that they will not give any of them the flesh of his children, whom he will eat, because he has nothing left in the siege, and desperate straits in which your enemy shall distress you at all your gates. The tender and delicate woman among you, who would not venture to set the sole of her foot on the ground because of her delicateness and sensitivity, will refuse to the husband of her bosom, and to her son, and to her daughter. Our women turned on the men, turned on our sons and daughters. Our women became lovers of themselves, only had children because it gave them power over the men. It gave them an ability to have income, to have welfare. And that was their way of becoming independent from the men. And they hated the children. They hated the sons. They hated their daughters. Nowhere else do you see the hatred between mother and daughter more than you see in our own communities. Our women are jealous of their own daughters, hateful of their own daughters, and they hate their sons. They hate men in general. They hate their sons. Her placenta, which comes out from between her feet, and her children, whom she bears, for she will eat them secretly for lack of everything in the siege and desperate straits in which your enemy shall distress you at all your gates. Eat them secretly for the lack of everything. She will eat them secretly for the lack of everything. See, the lack of everything, not having things, she secretly destroyed. The Black woman, the Israelite woman, secretly destroyed her own children. Her own children. In our communities, the children are destroyed by the women for the lack of everything, because they have a lack of everything, and they need, they need white supremacy. They need the white man. They need daddy white man to take care of them. You know what I'm saying? And the condition is you can't love your children. You can't love your people. You can't love your men. They became lovers of themselves, selfish, destroy the men, destroy the children, destroy the community. If you do not carefully observe all the words of this law that are written in this book, that you may fear this glorious and awesome name, Yahweh, your power. All right? See, now that's enough. That's enough. We got the point. This was a curse. What we're going through now, these are all the curses. You see what he said he would do to us, and he did exactly that. He did exactly that, right? Right. Okay. So now let's move on. Let's get Jeremiah chapter 31, verse 22. Jeremiah 31 and 22. Let's change this. Let's get into KJV. All right. How long wilt thou go about, O thou backsliding daughter? For the Lord hath created a new thing in the earth. A woman shall compass a man. Now, when you see in the scriptures, when it says daughter, singular, no S on the end, it's referring to the people, okay? When you see daughters with the S on the end, it's referring to the actual women, the actual females of our nation, okay? How long wilt thou go about, O thou backsliding daughter? My people, it's talking to the nation. For the Lord hath created a new thing in the earth. A woman shall compass a man. It was a new thing. It was a new thing. It had never been done until it was done to us. That was our punishment. He put the women above us. Okay? He put the women above us, but it was not meant to last forever. He gave them a season of rule over us, just like he gave all the nations a season of rule over us. Now he's correcting it. He's bringing the other nations down. He's bringing down all the enemies of his people, all the enemies of his men. And the women of our nation are a major enemy of the people, a major enemy of the men. They have to be brought down. They will be brought down. They will not escape. I'm telling you, Kevin Samuels is doing the Lord's work. All praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai. This is ordained. Kevin Samuels is the manifestation of the Lord's word. But let's keep it going. All right, let's get Isaiah Chapter 3, verse 12. Isaiah 3 and 12. As for my people, children are their oppressors. Children are their oppressors, and women rule over them. You see that? This is a forecast of the future, not at the time when this was written. That's how you know this is prophecy. This was written about a time to come in the future. All right, this is prophecy. Women were not ruling over the men at this time. As for my people, Israel, children are their oppressors. Children, as in these other nations that are over us. See, we're the ancient people. Compared to us, they are children. They're babes compared to us. We are the ancient people. Children are their oppressors, and women rule over them. O my people, they which lead thee cause thee to err. Who lead us? Our women. Our women lead us right now and cause us to err. Our women and the heathens, the enemies that they cling to because they have a relationship with them. They've been given power by the enemy. So the enemy who co-opted our women to be our co-oppressors, they cause us to err. Men, we got to get our shit together, and we're doing that now. That's why the Most High is healing everything. He's changing it. Things are reversing. The curses are being turned, being removed from us, and destroyed the way of thy paths. Our women, they destroy the way of our paths. They are the right hand of white supremacy, Israelite women. That has to be corrected. Verse 16, moreover, Yahweh said, because the daughters, see the S on the end now he's talking about the women, because the daughters of Zion, of Israel, Judah, are haughty and walk with stretched forth necks. Just picture it. Sounds like our women, doesn't it? And wanton eyes, walking and mincing as they go, and making a tinkling with their feet. Moreover, Yahweh said, because the daughters of Zion are haughty. Haughty. Daughters of Zion are haughty. What does haughty mean? Haughty. Blatantly and disdainfully proud, having or showing an attitude of superiority and contempt for people or things perceived to be inferior. What does that sound like? Does it not sound like our women? They've been raised up above us. Oh, we're more educated. You know, they're making more money than you. They don't respect you because you gained the breadwinner. They don't respect you because they're making more money than you. You dig what I'm saying? They don't respect you because they have been lifted up above you. They have been made to feel like they're independent of you and they don't need you for anything. I don't need a man for shit. Haughty. Haughty. And walk with stretched forth necks. That's the Israelite woman for sure. And wanton eyes. Wanton eyes. What does wanton mean? Wanton, definition. Sexually unrestrained, or having many casual sexual relationships. A sexually unrestrained woman behave in a sexually unrestrained way. Sounds like the product of women's liberation to me. I'm a savage. I'm a bad bee. That's them. That's them. All over the internet, naked all the time. Right? That's our women. That's a woman, wanton eyes, sexually unrestrained, walking and mincing as they go, and making the tinkling with their feet. Do I got to get mincing? Also, do we got to break it down to the very last compound? Effectively dainty in manner or gait. Effectively dainty in manner. That's how you want to walk around like they're dainty, you know, like they're soft, like they're feminine. They're not. They're not. But let's keep it going. Right? Let's keep it going. Matter of fact, while we're at it, let's get, stretched forth necks. Stretched forth necks. A proud and disdainful, having a high opinion of one's self. Did the Most High know his women or not? Did he not know his daughters? Who does this sound like it's talking about? If you didn't know that we are the people of the book, listen, watch. Is he not nailing it right on the head? Is this not the proud and disdainful Black woman, so-called the Israelite woman, having a high opinion of oneself? Look at Kevin Samuels. Look at his ranking system. Every woman, every sister thinks she's a dime, thinks she's an 8 and a 10. Oh man, don't tell them they ain't an 8 and a 10. 300-pound women think they're the shit. Only within our community. Can't tell them shit. Nothing. Stretched forth necks, haughty, proud and disdainful, having a high opinion of oneself. That is the Israelite woman, for sure. Listen what he says. Therefore, the Lord will smite with the scab the crown of the head of the daughters of Zion, and the Lord will discover their secret parts. Remember, this is prophecy, women. Listen, the Lord will smite with the scab the crown of the head. What is the head? The hair. Did he not do this? Do our women got a fucking problem with their hair? Why do they need weaves and wigs and shit? Why is it? Because of the Most High made good on his word. He has smited them. He smited their crowns, their hair. Because he knew how to bring their asses down. He knew how to level set their asses, their pride. Fuck with that head. Ruin that crown. That's a curse of the Israelite woman. And the Lord will discover their secret parts. What does he mean to discover their secret parts? Meaning he will expose their nakedness, their private parts to the world. It wouldn't be something private. He would make an open show of the nakedness of the Israelite woman. Are our women not the objects of ridicule and sexual objectification? Are they not? All over the internet, butt naked for some bucks, way before OnlyFans. Their desire for ego stroking and ego boosting had them getting naked, stripping down on the internet. It's the Most High. He caused them to do this in their arrogancy, gave them a strong desire for approval and likes and ego stroking so that he would manifest to them. He had made them thoroughly. He had brought them low. So they thought they were increasing their value, but what they were really doing, they were decreasing their value through these actions that they thought was liberating them. They thought it was empowering them, but it was really decreasing their value, decreasing their worth, their ego. He caused them to be destroyed with their pride. This is why Black men run away from them, why Black men don't really want Black women anymore, for the most part. Right? While they have such problems with the men staying around, they can't keep men around. That's the reason why they hate men so bad, because they can't keep them. So that I don't need a man and I don't want a man, that's a defense mechanism. You feel me? That is a defense mechanism. So he's uncovered their nakedness and made them unclothed publicly. And they were cursed to have to suffer objectification. Each one reach one. Do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. Objectification. Definition. The action of degrading someone to the status of a mere object. That's what's happened to the Israelite woman, to the Negro woman, to the Black woman. She has suffered objectification. That is the manifestation of the Most High's word, his promise to discover their secret parts. In that day, the Lord will take away the bravery of their tinkling ornaments. In that day, the Lord will take away the bravery of their tinkling ornaments about their feet and their calls and their round tires, like the moon. He will take away the bravery of their tinkling ornaments. Cause, definition. A woman's close-fitting indoor headdress or hairnet. Who does that sound like? Who wears headdresses and hairnets? You still think this is talking about a different people? You don't think this is talking about the Israelite woman, the so-called Negro woman, the so-called Black woman? You damn right. This is about you. This is us. We are the people of the book. This is the Most High's word. He promised to take away their bravery, their pride, their boastfulness. One day makeup is going to be gone. You ain't going to be able to have access to wigs or weaves. None of that's going to all be gone. You're going to have to deal with your regular face, your regular hair. Oh boy. He's going to take away all your accessories, all your dainties, all of the things that you enjoy, the chains and the bracelets and the mufflers, the bonnets. What is it talking about, ladies? And the ornaments of the legs and the headbands and the tablets and the earrings, the rings and nose jewels, the changeable suits of apparel, because he knows his women love clothes. He knows you love clothes, and the mantles and the wimples and the crisping pins, the glasses and the fine linen and the hoods and the veils. And it shall come to pass that instead of sweet smell, there shall be stink. Ugh. Ugh. Stink. And instead of a girdle, a rent. And instead of well-set hair, baldness. Who is he talking about, ladies? You still don't think he's talking about you, Black woman? Instead of well-set hair, baldness. And instead of a stomacher, a girding of sackcloth, and burning instead of beauty. Take away your beauty. He's going to make you humble again. Make Israelite women humble again. It's that season. We might have to get some hats printed up, fellas. Make the Black woman humble again. It's going down. The Most High is doing that. Thy men shall fall by the sword, and thy mighty in the war. What men? The 2/3, not the elect. The elect men are not going to fall by the sword. Elect men are not going to fall in the war. It's the 2/3 of our men, the 2/3 of the Israelite men, the thugs and everything that you love to and cling to so much. All of the men who aren't men of the Lord, who aren't in this truth, who don't understand who they are, who aren't one of his chosen. Your only defense, and you're going to be left out there in the wilderness, out there in the world, when this society crumbles and there's no law of the land, there's no police department, there's no alphabet boys out there to protect you, and you're going to be at the whim of society with no men to protect you. No men to protect you. Ladies, you better start repairing those bridges while you can. You better get rid of that attitude. You better get rid of that mantra of, I don't need no man for shit. The Most High is going to make you stand on that. He's going to show you that you're full of shit. He's going to show you that that was the worst thing that you ever should have said. When you're sitting there and you're getting gang raped and pass around, you got an apartment, because I'm saying, because remember the movie. Remember the movie, the Book of Eli. Remember, the last thing you're going to want to be in that time is a beautiful woman. Beautiful women will be prey. You will be prey, and there will be no help or saving for you. It's going to be your judgment. That is the judgment of the haughty Israelite woman that will not come under subjection, that will not humble herself, that will not shake that rebellious spirit. And her gates, meaning her home, wherever you live, shall lament and mourn, and she, being desolate, shall sit upon the ground. He's going to bring you low to the dirt. He's going to bring you off that high horse. He's going to sit you on the ground. He's going to bring you down low. Oh, you ain't got to get off that high horse. He going to snatch you off of it. Woo, you better believe it. Better believe it. He said one day he's going to make beauty a curse and a dread. A curse and a dread. Well, before let's not be hasty. Let's not be hasty. Her gates shall lament and mourn, and she, being desolate, shall sit upon the ground. I'm going to move too fast. I want to make sure we're properly edifying people. This might save somebody's life. Might be a woman out there who might decide to listen, who might decide to stop hating on Kevin Samuels and understand that he's doing the work of the Lord, that you might want to listen, that the Most High is speaking through him. The Most High is trying to correct you. You better stop hating on him. If you're fighting on him, if you're fighting against him and you hate him, that's a rebellious spirit, and the Most High will deal with you. He's going to deal with you. Desolate, definition. Deserted of people and in a state of bleak and dismal emptiness. to make bleakly and depressingly empty or bare. That's what's happening right now. Our women are some of the loneliest women on the planet, and it will be worse. You're going to be deserted. You're going to have no men around, no protection. You're going to be deserted and in a state of bleak and dismal emptiness without your men that you hated, that you turned on, that you said you didn't need, that you cussed out, that you brought low, that you disrespected. You're not going to have them. You're going to have to be that bad bitch. You say you are, you have to show you a true savage, true to the word. You will have to survive in a world where men are a law unto themselves. Depressingly empty. You're going to be depressingly empty because you're going to realize the whole time that you really needed a man, that the whole time you're not happy because you weren't fulfilling what the Most High created you for. He created you as an accessory to the man. He created you to need a man. The Most High made women to need men. See, it was the work of the devil that turned everything of the Most High upside down. So now that's the reason why the more power women got, the more depressed and unhappy they got, because when you turn nature upside down, things get out of sorts. Women are not supposed to be independent. Women are not supposed to be out here and not in need of a man. That is your function. That is your function. That is what you were created for. And since you aren't doing what you're created for, you're depressingly empty, in a state of bleak and dismal emptiness, unhappy, angry. That's why you're out here angry, Black woman. You're fighting the Most High. You're fighting nature. You're fighting nature. You don't understand. You think you're somebody. You think men should have to bow down to you and not you to the man. See, the enemy convinced you that your men are shitty. They're pieces of shit because, they can't be faithful. They cheat and they do this and that and other, but you have no understanding, no ability to think for yourself and say, and understand that men and women are created different. You only acknowledge that men and women are created different when you want to be looked at as a goddess, as God, for being able to give birth to children. You only want to acknowledge differences between men and women when you want to be able to physically assault a man and not get your ass hit back. See, then you want to acknowledge men and women are different, that men and women have differences. But outside of that, you don't want to understand that men and women are created different. You don't want to look and say, well, why did the Most High create, make it to where women outnumber men? If he wanted every man to have one woman and every woman to have a man to herself, why did he make it to where it's impossible for that to be the case? Impossible. Because that's not natural. That's against the Most High. That's the reason why your men can't stay faithful. That's because they've never had to do it. It is not in their genetics. It is against their DNA. You're trying to force men to be contrary to their DNA. What you're doing would be the same as if men try to label you women as pieces of shit because all of you bleed once a month. And all men just say all day, damn, these women are pieces of shit. They ain't shit. They ain't shit. Bleeding every month. Bleeding every month. All of them bleeding every month. They ain't shit. But damn, and none of them having the ability to reason and say, well, damn, if they're all bleeding every month, maybe they're not just pieces of shit. Maybe they're designed that way. Maybe they can't help it. Maybe it's something about the way they're built. Maybe it's something in their DNA, in their genetics. Women have no ability to think like this because they're fucking selfish. They're selfish. See, they want to be able to do everything a man can do. They think men and women are created equal until it's time for them to want to get over and to be able to reap the benefits of some sort of double standard that works in their favor. Then, and only then, will they recognize the differences between men and women, right? See, they want men to act like women. They want you to be as women. They think because they can, be with one man that you should be with one woman, and that because they don't have the genetic desire or, the drive inside of them and just that DNA call to spread seed and to, want more than one mate. They think that because they can do it, you should be able to do it. Anything that they can do, you should be able to do also. See, because it's that gender fluidity thing. They think that There's no difference between men and women in that. Both should be able to do what the other can do. They don't even give any respect to the Creator and his creation and how he created men and women. See, and especially the Israelite man. The Israelite man, it's the reason why the Most High likens us unto lions. Lions, lion, one male lion and a pride of women. And they all function as a team. They're all together. That's what makes him the king of the jungle. He has a unit, a strong team. We are the lions, the kings and queens, not queens, the kings and princesses, because there are no queens in Israel, only princesses, right? We are the rulers of this so-called jungle. We were, and we will be once again. See, the lions are our spirit animal. You get what I'm saying? We're supposed to be living like them. But what happened was, to us, it will be the same as if the tigers somehow took over the lions' environment, the lion community, and said, we're going to force all the male lions to have to live like male tigers. We're going to enforce tiger standards on the lions now. And now the women, the lionesses, because now they like the power that they got. They like the reversal of things and the change. And so now they're going to enforce, they're going to help the tigers enforce this standard upon the lions. And when the lions can't help but be lions, they get to say, y'all ain't shit. Y'all ain't shit. Just for doing what they were created to do, just for being who they are. They've demonized who we are, Israel. Ladies, that's what you've done to your men. You have no respect to the Most High, no respect to the Creator or his creation, none whatsoever. Let's see, I just went on a tangent, but it was necessary. That was all in the spirit. That needed to be done because some of y'all need to be schooled in the area of common sense because most of you don't have it. Isaiah chapter 4, verse 1. And in that day, what day? In the day of the end. This is a prophecy. It is about the end times, the times we're in right now. This is the end time. And in that day, when he humbles the women, when lawlessness is abounding and, the entire social construct has fallen and men have become a law unto themselves. In that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man. What? 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. It's going to become a time when the Most High is going to get rid of most of the men of our nation. And he's going to leave a small number of us to repopulate the nation. And 7 or more women are going to all have to deal with one man. You are no longer going to have the pleasure that you have right now and the power that you have right now and the ability to have a man unto yourself. You will have to get used to sharing. You are going to be forced to do that. You ain't going to have a choice. The Most High will correct you. He will. He knows how to do it. And if you choose to be a rebellious one and to not try to cling to that woman because you want one unto yourself, you will have to deal with the herds of the lawless men out there that want to take one down, pass it around. Yeah, that's going to be you. That's going to be you. You're going to get right or you're going to get left to your own devices. You get what I'm saying? Get right or get left to your own devices. Verse 2. In that day, the day to come, shall the branch of the Lord be beautiful and glorious. What is the branch of the Lord? The branch of the Lord are his men. The men of the Lord, the elect men of the Most High, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, will be beautiful and glorious. He's going to make his men the most beautiful and glorious thing anybody has ever seen. We will be peacocking around here. We're going to be something to look at, something special. He's going to transform us, all the women of the nation. We're going to be a beautiful specimen to behold, and all women will want us. And either you're going to cling to us or you'll be without. Again, in that day shall the branch of the Lord be beautiful and glorious, and the fruit of the earth shall be excellent and comely for them that are escaping of Israel. Comely, beautiful, our children, the fruit of of the elect men of the Lord's men they will be excellent, righteous, and beautiful for them that are escaped of Israel, escaped because many of our people will perish. It is their fate for them to die in this time that's coming. Y'all don't understand what's happening in the world and where it's going. Y'all think the world is going to bounce back. Y'all think we're going to go back to normal. Normal is over. The Most High's movie is playing out. Prophecy is unfolding. Revelation is happening before your eyes. We are never going back to what you once knew. You read history. Did you pass your history classes? How many kingdoms rose and fell? You remember reading about the rise and fall of kingdoms? Well, you're living throughout the fall of a kingdom now. You're getting to live in a time when the kingdom is falling. And the Most High is making good on his word where he's going to raise up his people to be the rulers again. His men are going to be the kings, the princes, the judges, the rulers of this earth. And you women better get in line. You better get in line. This is what you're going to have to deal with. This is what he's preparing his people for right now. He took us through all of these generations and years of correcting us over time, getting us ready for rulership, getting us ready to deserve what's coming. The kingdom is for us, but not you that are rebellious. It ain't for you. You'll get to die out there in the world when it's gone full-blown crazy, and his people will dwell in safety. His people will dwell in safety. Verse 3, and it shall come to pass that he that is left in Zion, he that hasn't been killed, because he's protected by the Most High, because he's one of the elect, when all the other heathenistic men and all the other men that are not under him, that are not one of his chosen, when those guys die, when those guys are all taken out and you're left out there with no protection, it's just going to be us, the elect men. And we're going to be few in number. Few in number. And all of those that are killed are going to be reborn later when us, the men of the Lord, procreate with the women that are saved. That's the reason why it's going to be one man to many women. That's how the Most High is going to bring back all those people that are killed. Every man is going to need a bunch of wives, a bunch of women. That is how the nation, our people, the whole entire people will be repopulated. They're going to die in order to be reborn and raised righteously later. That's the kingdom of heaven. Heaven is rulership. His people being in rulership, that is the kingdom of heaven. Right? It shall come to pass. It will, without a doubt, that he that is left in Zion and he that remaineth in Jerusalem, the people of Israel, us, the Israelites, not those people over there in that land, the Israelites. Jerusalem is wherever we are, because Jerusalem is a people before it is a place. Wherever we are, that is Jerusalem. He that remaineth in Jerusalem shall be called holy, his men. He is converting us, changing us, making us holy. Even everyone that is written among the living in Jerusalem. When the Lord shall have washed away the filth of the daughters, see that S on the end? Daughters, with an S, that means he's talking to the women of Zion. What filth? Look at them, everything we just finished talking about. Their rebelliousness, their pride, their arrogance, right? Their egos, right? Their attitudes, their snotty attitudes, their sinful ways, their wicked ways, right? Their need to be seen and get naked and get attention. All of this. He said his daughters are filthy. And when the Lord shall have washed away the filth of the daughters of Zion and shall have purged the blood of Jerusalem from the midst thereof by the spirit of judgment. This is when he's talking about 2/3 of his people. A great portion of his people will be purged through blood. They will be killed. They will be removed from the midst of the people through the spirit of judgment. He was sending judgment on his people. That's what's happening now. Judgment happening. That's why Black Lives Matter is even a thing. That's why we're constantly seeing our people dying in the streets and suffering all of these injustices and murders and accidents and all of these things that's happening to them. That's judgment. That is the judgment the Most High has put on them. And by the spirit of burning, he is going to correct the people in measure. He's going to make you get right. He's going to make you get right, ladies, or suffer the consequences. That's his promise. Right now, he's utilizing Kevin Samuels to correct you. You've been given an opportunity to learn where you went wrong, given an opportunity to humble yourself, to come down off that high horse, to change your attitude, to change your perception, to change your habits, to get you out of that masculine energy, teach you to be feminine, show you the benefits of femininity. Kevin Samuels, shout out, brother. Whether you know it or not, you've been doing the work of the Lord. You are doing a great job of it, by the way. I watch, I listen, I peep it, I see. And there's other guys in the so-called manosphere, so-called red pill community, so-called MGTOW community. He's doing what they're all being used as agents of correction of the woman. Women are getting their season for correction. The change is happening. Fight it if you want, but you're only fighting the power. Hate if you want, but you're only fighting the power. And you're going to lose. You're going to lose, I promise you. Let's get Isaiah chapter 32. Start at verse 1. The glorious future. It's the time to come. Behold, a king shall reign in righteousness. Yahushua is coming. King shall reign in righteousness, and princes shall rule in judgment. His men, those elect men that I was just talking about, that you women keep talking about, that you hate, that you don't want to cling to, that you say you don't got to respect. That ain't shit. We are the future princes and rulers of this world. The world will be under our subjection. We shall rule in judgment. We will sit judging the world. And the man shall be as a hiding place from the wind. We're going to be all you got, ladies. We're going to be your covering. We're going to be your protection. We will be as a hiding place from what? From all the other nations. Your only safe place, Israelite woman, Black woman, Negro woman, is going to be the men that you hate, the men that you burn bridges with, the men that you refuse to respect, the ones you say you don't need, the ones you say ain't shit, for being for acting like men, for being who they were created to be. And man shall be as a hiding place from the wind, and the covert from the tempest, the storm. When he wreaked havoc with the storms on this place, the violent storms of these people, and everything that's going to happen, you have no idea what's happening as this world turns, as time progresses and the world digresses. What's changing? What's happening? Where are we going? You have no idea where we're going because you don't understand the scripture. You don't understand that this book is real. You don't understand you are in this book, that this book is talking about you. You don't understand the Most High's timeline and what time we're in right now and where we're going, and the fact that we are never going back. It is never going back to the days of old. Never. The men that you hate right now are going to be the rulers one day. And you will get to see it. And you will be brought down in the dust and sat down very low. And a man shall be as a hiding place from the wind, again, and a covert from the tempest, as rivers of water in a dry place. We're going to be what replenish the earth. We're going to be the way you're quenched, right? We're going to be your salvation as the shadow of a great rock in a weary land. The Most High is raising us up, raising us up. There's going to be glory in his men again, glory among his people again. That is his plan. That has been his plan from the beginning. He raised you up for a time, ladies, but it was not meant to be forever. He raised all of these other nations up above us for a time, but it was never meant to be forever. Now, as you can see, if you're looking around, you should notice how this place is going down. This world is going down. He's destroying it. He's taking down these other nations the same way he took us down, the same way he put the curses on us. The curses are on them. They're trying to make it look like the curses are on everybody because they're trying to hide Bible prophecy from you. They're trying their damnness to hide Bible prophecy from you so that you don't see it. So you don't recognize that there are people that are being blessed right now in the midst of everything going on right now. They want to look like we're all in this together. We're all in this together. Look what's happening to all of us. No, look what's happening to you. It ain't happening to all of us. It is happening to you. You better get right, ladies. You better get right, or you're going to be left out here. You're going to be left out here having to deal with all sorts of madness and craziness. Kevin Samuels, boy, he's doing what he was sent to do. He was put here to do exactly what he's doing right now in this time. This was his destiny. This was his destiny. This is what the Most High wrote into the books for him. He didn't just stumble on this by accident. This is the Most High's will being done. Prophecy being fulfilled. Like it or not, you better respect it and you better adjust. Men, if any of you bitch-made ass, soft, noodle ass, wet, bond, you know what I'm saying, ear motherfuckers, if you are out here caping for these disorderly, out of order fucking women, simping, you will be destroyed with them. The Most High has no respect for weak ass dudes. No respect. When he talk about that bloodbath, that he's going to purge his people, the spirit of judgment and blood, he's talking about you. He's talking about you. You're going to be destroyed and taken out of here right along with these wicked ass women. He has a judgment for all of y'all. Right along with all the enemies of his people. You guys are an enemy of his people. You guys are fighting against the correction of his people. Kevin Samuels is trying to do a great work to bring our people together, and you people are hating him. Hating him because he's bucking the norm. He's tearing down what you guys have gotten used to. You guys rather have things stay as they were and for us to disintegrate into nothingness and continue to be destroyed as a people than to give up that power, than to admit that there is an issue and correct it. Show my people their transgressions. That's what he's doing. He's exposing it. He's exposing everything that's wrong with our people. And it's the women. It's the women. And because of pride, nothing more prideful than the daughters of Eve, nothing more prideful than the Israelite woman. They can't see it. They don't want to let go of the power. They don't want to have to go where things are going. Right? They don't want to, they hate the black man. They hate the Israelite man. They don't want to have to be placed beneath us again, but they can't help it. They're not going to be able to stop it. And you're going to have to deal with never, ever again having a man to yourself. You will have to get used to being a sister wife and sharing. Oh yeah, I know that's a hard one to swallow. I know that's a hard one to swallow. But you hardy bitches out there, y'all shouldn't have no trouble with this. You feel me? Swallowing shit should not come hard to you. You feel me? Well, that'll conclude this lesson. You know, hopefully you've been edified and you're able to take correction. I know you're not. It's just not in you. And so this is me crying out loud, not sparing your feelings, as Kevin Samuels is not sparing your feelings. Brother Kevin Samuels, don't stop. Spare not. Let him have it. You're doing the work. Keep doing a great job. Spare not. Giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem HaMashiach Yahushai. All praise is due to the Most High, the power of Yasharallah. I'll see y'all on the next one, Israel. Hope you're edified. Shalom.